You think you're tough? You think you have what it takes to climb the corporate ladder? We're about to find out. Let's be honest, the corporate world is a jungle, a special kind of war zone where the only IEDs are in spreadsheets and the only casualty is your soul. Climbing that ladder isn't just about hard work, it's natural selection, but with more soul-crushing meetings and less dignity. So today, we're applying the ruthless standards of Special Forces selection to the 9 to 5. We're going to put you through a single day at every single corporate rank. One day, one trial, to see if you have the grit, the cunning, and the sheer tolerance for absurdity to make it out alive. Most people won't. Let's see if you will. The Intern, the expendable recruit. Welcome to the bottom. This is rank 1, the Intern. Your call sign is the unpaid, your mission is survival, and your only real function is to be completely expendable. In the SAS, the first phase is endurance, a grueling test where you carry a heavy pack over impossible mountains. In the corporate world, this is also your test, except the terrain is an open-plan office, and that heavy pack is everyone else's administrative and emotional baggage. Your first trial, the coffee gauntlet. This is not just fetching coffee, that's what amateurs think. This is a complex psychological and logistical nightmare. You're given a list of 7 increasingly bizarre orders. One's a half-calf, quarter-Coke soy milk latte with a whisper of cinnamon. Another is just black, but not from the pot that's been sitting for more than 7 minutes. And the last one is just a vague grunt from a manager pointing towards the kitchen. An order you have to decipher through pure, terrified intuition. The weight of these cardboard trays is your pack. The risk of spillage is your landmine. Failure means you are silently and permanently judged as incompetent. Success means you get to do it all again tomorrow, but with more orders. There is no winning. There is only the temporary avoidance of failure. Next, the psychological test, deciphering vague instructions. A director, a creature you have only ever seen in PowerPoint presentations, will approach you. They won't make eye contact. They'll hand you a stack of papers and mutter something like, "I need this data synergized into a deck for the Q3 pre-meeting. Make it pop." Then they vanish. What data? What synergy? What in God's name does "make it pop" mean? This is like being dropped in the jungle with a compass and a knife, but no map. You wander from desk to desk, a ghost in a blazer that's slightly too big, begging for clues. And you're met with a mix of pity and contempt. Poor thing, their eyes say, doesn't even know what a deliverable is. You'll pour your entire soul into this for 8 hours, only to be told tomorrow, "Oh, we've pivoted, we're not doing that anymore." Your final trial for the day is surviving the optional after-work drinks. This is your escape and evasion test. You have to be present, but not too present. Be friendly, but not familiar. You will nurse one light beer for exactly 1 hour and 45 minutes, while listening to mid-level managers tell war stories about the 2018 marketing budget. Every question is a trap. So, what do you really want to do after this? Is tactical questioning. The wrong answer, "I don't know," or worse, "not this," gets you captured. The right answer is a stream of enthusiastic corporate jargon you barely understand. "I'm just really passionate about leveraging scalable solutions and driving stakeholder engagement." You have no idea what you just said, but they nod, satisfied. You've passed the interrogation. You get home at 10 p.m., having spent more on the train than you earned. You survived rank 1. But that was the easy part. Rank 2 is where the real danger begins. The junior associate, the frontline grunt. You made it. You traded your temp pass for a permanent lanyard and a desk you can almost call your own. Welcome to rank 2, the junior associate. You passed basic training. Now you're on the front lines. The SAS has a saying, "If you can fight in the jungle, you can fight anywhere." Well, this is your jungle. A dense, hostile environment of spreadsheets, passive-aggressive emails, and acronyms you're too scared to ask about. Your main survival challenge here is the spreadsheet sniper. You live and die in Excel. Your entire world is a grid of cells and VLOOKUPs that stretch into infinity. Someone hands you a file named master_data_final_use_this_1.xlsx. It's a minefield. One broken formula, one misplaced decimal, and you don't just get a slap on the wrist. You detonate a bomb that takes out the entire department's quarterly projections. A senior manager will call you, not angry, just with a voice dripping with a disappointment that's 1,000 times worse. They have posters that say, "We're not in the trenches," but you are. You're in the trenches of cell A1 to XFD 1048576, and the enemy is a circular reference error. But that's just the technical part. Your next test is psychological warfare. Navigating the chain of command. You have a great idea, a genuine, this could actually work idea. So how do you share it? If you tell your direct manager, they might steal it. In the military, that's a court-martial offense. Here, it's a Tuesday. If you go above your manager, you're insubordinate, a lone wolf who can't be trusted. So you learn to plant your idea like a whisper. You seed it in a group chat as a question. Just a random thought, but has anyone ever considered? You're not making a statement, you're launching a covert op. You're a ghost, trying to influence the battle without ever being seen. And the final test of Rank 2 is an endurance trial, the 7 p.m. just one more thing email. The sun is down. Your friends are at the pub. You are packing your bag. Your mouse is hovering over the shutdown button, and then it appears. An email from your boss with the subject line, "Quick question." Spoiler, it is never quick, and it is never a question. It is a task disguised as a query. Could you just quickly pull the numbers for? Could you just whip up a slide on? You know you could say no, you could set boundaries, but you're a junior associate. You're still desperate to prove yourself, so you sit back down, you unpack your laptop. The last train comes and goes. This isn't just about working late, it's a test of compliance, a test of how much of your life you're willing to sacrifice on the altar of opportunity. You've survived another day. You're becoming a hardened soldier. But as you look up the ladder at the next rank, the middle manager, you see the fear in their eyes. You're about to find out why. The middle manager, the human shield. Congratulations, you've been promoted. Not because you were the best, but because you survived the longest. Welcome to Rank 3, the middle manager. You thought getting here was the hard part? That's cute. This isn't a promotion, it's a deployment to a forward operating base that is permanently under siege. You're not a grunt anymore, you are now the human shield. Your job is to absorb fire from above so it doesn't hit your team, while also absorbing complaints from below so they don't reach command. You are the meat in a very miserable sandwich. Your first, most brutal trial is the meeting marathon. In the SAS, there's the fan dance, an infamous 24-kilometer march over a mountain. Your fan dance is 8 back-to-back one-hour meetings. They're all mandatory. They all conflict with each other. You spend your day running, not up a mountain, but between beige conference rooms named Synergy and Innovation. In the first meeting, you discuss the agenda for the second. In the third, you circle back to a point from the first. By meeting number 5, you've forgotten what your actual job is. By the 7th, you start to question the very meaning of language. Nothing gets decided. No actions are taken. This isn't about communication. It's a ritual designed to see if you can maintain a facade of engagement while your brain slowly leaks out of your ears. Your psychological test is next, the feedback sandwich of doom. An executive, your commanding officer, has decided your team is underperforming, but they won't tell them. They'll tell you, and they'll tell you to handle it. Meanwhile, your team is telling you they're overworked and underpaid. You're trapped. You have to deliver the negative feedback, but without destroying morale. So you assemble the sandwich. You start with a stale slice of praise. Great work on that Johnson account. Then you shove in the rotten meat of the real issue. However, your reports are consistently late and full of errors, and quickly slap on another weak slice of praise. But you really have a great attitude. You deliver this monstrosity, and nobody is fooled. Your employee knows they were just criticized, and you know you sound like a disingenuous corporate robot. You haven't inspired anyone. You've just confirmed that you are completely powerless. Your endurance trial is simple: perpetual accountability. You are now the single point of failure. When a junior associate on your team messes up a spreadsheet at 2 a.m., it's not their mistake anymore. It's your mistake. Your phone rings. It's a director who doesn't sleep. You are responsible for everything, but have authority over nothing. You can't approve a $50 expense, but you're held accountable for $1 million project's failure. It's a constant low-grade panic, a hum of anxiety that follows you home, sits with you at dinner, and tucks you into bed at night. That is the essence of middle management. You're not the one in the trenches anymore. You're the one who sends others into the trenches, knowing they might not make it out. And then you have to write a report about it. Okay, let's pause the simulation here. Are you feeling that? That pressure in your chest? If you're currently stuck in a meeting marathon, or you're forced to serve feedback sandwiches daily, first, I am so sorry. Second, tell us your war story in the comments. Which rank are you currently surviving? And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. You're going to need this intel for the next, even more brutal stages of your career. The director, the warlord. If you've made it this far, you're a different breed. The cynicism didn't break you. It forged you into something harder. Welcome to Rank 4, the director. The boots-on-the-ground fighting is over. You're in the command tent now. You've traded your rifle for a map, and your enemies aren't spreadsheets anymore. They're the other warlords in the tents next to yours. This is pure, unadulterated politics. Your new mission is acquisition. Welcome to the budget battlefield. It's the beginning of the fiscal year, and you and the other directors are locked in a cage match for resources, headcount, marketing spend, travel budgets. These are the territories you're fighting for. It is a zero-sum game. For you to win, someone else has to lose. You spend weeks building your case, a masterpiece of data proving that your department is the most mission-critical unit in the company. You weaponize jargon, deploying strategic imperatives and core competencies like artillery fire. You form treacherous alliances, promising to support another director's claim in exchange for a sliver of their winnings, knowing full well they'd stab you in the back for a slightly better laptop. Your battles aren't just fought in finance meetings, they're fought in every presentation. This brings you to your next trial, the politics of the PowerPoint. Your entire vision for the future must be distilled into 5 perfect slides. Not 6, not 4, 5. This deck is your war banner. The font, the color of your charts, the sheer audacity of your title slide. It all sends a message. You'll spend more time debating a pie chart versus a bar graph than you will on the data itself. Because you know the truth. The executives you're presenting to aren't reading the details. They're judging you. They're assessing your confidence, your narrative, your ability to tell a simple, compelling story, even if that story is a complete work of fiction. A slide with too much text is a sign of a cluttered mind. A typo is a fatal, self-inflicted wound. You're not presenting information, you're performing. Finally, you face the most insidious trial of all, the lonely peak. Your old trench buddies from the junior ranks, they're your direct reports now. You can't complain about management with them anymore because you are management. The other directors, they're your rivals. You can't trust them. You are an island. The camaraderie is gone, replaced by a cautious, professional distance. Your conversations become guarded. How was your weekend is no longer a real question. It's a reconnaissance mission. The higher you climb, the thinner the air, and the fewer people there are to share it with. You have a corner office, but you're the only one in it. You win the budget. Your PowerPoint is a triumph. But as you sit in your silent office, you see the C-suite on the floor above. They look down, not at the battlefield, but at the clouds. And you realize you're not at the top. You're just in a higher, more gilded cage. The C-suite executive, the Olympian god. You have ascended. You have escaped the mortal realm of operations and politics. Welcome to Rank 5, the CEO, the CFO, the COO. You are a god on Olympus. You no longer deal with problems, you deal with concepts. You don't manage people, you manage perceptions. You've reached the final level, but it's the most dangerous of all. Because up here, you are completely and utterly detached from reality. Your first trial is the ultimate moral hazard, the shareholder sacrifice. A group of analysts has downgraded your stock because quarterly growth was 4.2% instead of the predicted 4.5%. The board is nervous. You have to act. You're given two options. Option A, a long-term investment in R&D and your employees that will secure the company's future in 5 years. Option B, fire 10% of the workforce to immediately boost the profit margin for the next quarter. In the real world, this is a devastating choice. In the C-suite, it's a simple, abstract calculation. The 10% aren't people. They are headcount, a number on a slide. Their lives, their families, their futures, those are externalities. Your bonus, however, is not. You make the sacrifice. The stock bumps up 2%. You are hailed as a decisive leader. You just had to sell a small piece of your soul to do it. Next is the psychological test of the reality distortion field. On the ground floor, soldiers question orders. In the director's war room, they argue over strategy. In your boardroom, everyone agrees with you. Always. Your jokes are hilarious. Your half-baked ideas, mumbled over a stale croissant, are hailed as visionary. Your lieutenants have built a bubble around you, a force field of perpetual agreement that shields you from anything negative. That's a brilliant thought, sir. We'll action that immediately. Can you still tell what's real? Can you distinguish between a good idea and your idea? Most fail. They start to believe their own hype, convinced the company's success is due to their unique genius, not the thousands of people working below them. Your final endurance trial is to become the 24/7 brand ambassador. You are never off the clock. Your life isn't yours anymore. It's a company asset. Every golf game is a networking opportunity. Every charity dinner is a PR event. You can't have an opinion on politics, sports, or the weather that hasn't been focus grouped by your communications team. You speak a language of carefully crafted platitudes about stakeholder value and corporate responsibility. You are no longer a person, you are a symbol. You have ultimate power, but you have zero freedom. You stand on the balcony of your penthouse office, looking down at the city. You see the tiny lights, the tiny figures rushing home. You can't see their faces. You don't know their names. You have won the game. You've survived every rank. But you are utterly, completely, and irrevocably alone. So, there you have it. From the coffee-stained trenches of the internship to the gilded cage of the C-suite. Every step up the ladder is a new trial, a new kind of punishment disguised as a reward. The corporate world isn't really like SAS selection. It's more absurd, and the casualties are just better hidden. It's a shared misery, a collective delusion we all opt into. And maybe, just maybe, laughing at the sheer insanity of it all is the only real survival skill we have. So, I have to ask, which corporate rank are you currently surviving? What's the most ridiculous, mission-critical task you've ever been assigned? Leave your story in the comments. Let's compare scars. It's the only therapy we're going to get. Thanks for watching, and remember, they can't burn you out if you were never on fire in the first place. Stay cynical.